All right, hello and welcome everyone to another Why Would You Use? So today we are going to be talking about the other new Kuva weapon of note, and that is the Kuva Nukor. DE went and fucking decided that they should combine the Nukor with the Atomos. This weapon has both of the gimmicks of those weapons, and it is actually, I think, quite worth building around. For those of you that don't know what the Nukor's gimmick is, it's that this weapon has fucking 10.5x critical multiplier. What the fuck? Of course, the catch on that is that that's only with Prime Target Cracker because it starts at 5x. And of course, the other part of the catch is that it only starts at a 7% crit chance, which is abysmally low. But this weapon, I feel, actually makes it worthwhile to build a way into your kit as long as you have an open slot really kind of somewhere to get that crit chance. And the place that I have chosen to get that crit chance from is a cat. This is just your pet slot. This thing can equip fetch, so it can still pick up items and stuff for you. And as long as it does not die, you will be getting Cat's Eye. Adar's the Kavats have Cat's Eye. This grants a 60% increased critical chance for 10 seconds to allies within 25 meters every 20 seconds. This is increased in time by Tech Enhance by 30%, so we get an additional 3 extra seconds on this, giving this an uptime of about 65%, also known as most of the time. Also worth noting is that this crit chance increase is additive, so we are going to be going from the 20% crit chance we have on our Nukor, because we are also, of course, using Prime Pistol Gambit, up to 80% chance to crit. And if you have an 80% chance to crit, and you're doing 10.5x crit multiplier damage, that's a lot of motherfucking damage. On top of that, this weapon fires quite quickly and has 100% status given a couple dual stats. And it's inherently radiation damage, so you can build fucking corrosive radiation heat on this motherfucking thing. So this weapon's pretty good. Obviously, there are other options besides your pet slot in order to get that crit. You can play as Harrow, or you can use sets of Arcane Avenger, for example. There are a couple of other ways to get crit, but there are ways to get it. I think the most efficient is the Adarza Kavats. Of course, the other Kavats also have a crit boost, which will give you constant red crits, but that is much less consistent, I feel, than Adarza Kavats, but feel free to high roll if you wish, of course. The other thing of note for this weapon is that it is perfectly usable even if you don't have a cat buff on. Like, even if you're not buffing the shit out of yourself with Harrow and getting those, like, insane crits, it's perfectly usable. But whenever you're critting, it's pretty fucking nice. And the thing that's nice about this is the Atomos part of this gimmick, where this chains between enemies. Chaining between enemies to kill, like, all the enemies it can link up with is great, and this weapon has significantly more range than the Atomos does. It is quite effective at wiping out groups, and firing this thing down a hallway will usually involve microwaving the entire hallway and them all exploding to death. So that's effective and good. Just to show it off, I am going to show this weapon's damage at level 100, but because this weapon requires a little bit more on-target time, I am going to throw invincibility on, because it does not have as much downtime per target as, say, the Kuva Brahma, which we went over in the last video. Still, though, solid damage. Like, solid damage, tons of status, especially on these fodder enemies. It's going to wipe them out really, really effectively, with just basically just absolutely just disgusting. Like, it touches enemies, and then, like, all the enemies it's touching are usually stunned because they have heat procs on them, and it's stripping all their armor, and it turns off ancient buffs because of the radiation proc. Like, it fucking does stuff. Like, this was a really surprising weapon to be great for me, because I was like, oh, the Kuva Nukor, that'll be a goofy meme. But whenever you include the fucking Atomos gimmick, it is no longer just a meme. It's a really fucking good meme. So yeah, this weapon far surpassed my expectations. Definitely worth grabbing. And I suspect for a number of people, this may be their new catch moon, because it's just effective. And if you don't mind having a cat around, there you go. Great weapon. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's video, and I will see y'all tomorrow.